The GISB case revolves around systemic child abuse, with 625 children rescued from welfare homes linked to the Ban al-Arqam sect. Victims suffered sexual abuse, forced labor, and indoctrination. Massive raids led to CEO Nasiruddin and others facing organized crime and money laundering charges, sparking national outrage over regulatory failures.
About the background of the GISB holding case. The case began on 11 September 2024 when Malaysian police raided 20 premises linked to GISB. During the operation, 402 children were rescued and 171 individuals were arrested over allegations of child abuse, neglect, human trafficking and sexual abuse. A few days later, authorities froze 96 bank accounts linked to GISB. And on 19 September, the company's CEO and several senior leaders were arrested as investigation expanded. This case became one of the Malaysia's biggest ethics and integrity issues, highlighting the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals and ensuring organizations are held accountable.
Every organization makes an unspoken promise to act honestly, protect the people who trust it, and use its power responsibly. When that promise breaks, two things can fail: the people involved, ethically, or the system meant to hold them accountable, its integrity. The ethical issues in the GISB case center on direct harm to vulnerable people, child abuse and exploitation, human trafficking and forced labor, fraudulent donation solicitation through homes falsely marketed as orphanage, exploitation of women through polygamy, abuse of religious authority, and a systematic loss of personal autonomy among members. The integrity issues point to organizational failure, a lack of transparency that hid alleged abuse for decades, weak governance and oversight, hypocrisy between GISB's stated values and its practices, repeated branding to evade regulatory scrutiny, deception of consumers through lapsed halal certification, and an overall breach of trust to its donors, workers, and the public.
This case matters because child protection is not only the responsibility of parents, but also it depends on organization, authorities, and society. When welfare institution fails, the consequences can include trauma, broken family relationship, loss of education, and a long-term psychological harm. The case can also affect public trust. People must be able to trust organizations that care for children. When that trust is broken, society begins to question whether monitoring and enforcement systems are strong enough. Therefore, the case shows that trust must always be supported by transparency and accountability.
Next is the stakeholders analysis. The key stakeholders are the children or victims of GISB workers and members, affected families, GISB management and the authorities, and also public and media. Among them, the children are the top priority, while all the stakeholders must work together to ensure justice, protect victims, and prevent similar cases in the future.
The GISB case taught us a painful truth. When system falls, the most innocent suffer. It exposed how unchecked power, weak oversight, and silence enable abuse. This makes the lesson clear: ethics must be proactive, not reactive. Our solutions are threefold. First, for children, government should introduce integrated rehabilitation with counseling, education, and faith-based support, plus strict reunification checks under JKM. Second, companies must enforce business regulation, enforce labor, and penalize violators. Third, for authorities, they must strengthen multi-agency coordination between police, JAKIM, and JKM, and push for harsher penalties for organized child abuse. Justice begins when we choose to act. Things will turn when we prioritize children over institutions, transparency over silence, and accountability over convenience. Because ethics isn't just about knowing what's right, it's about doing what's right.